What we put on the outside shows up on the inside, and what we put up on the inside shows up on the outside. And, the skin loves what is pure. It responds to what is natural and good.
Welcome to Exploring Mind and Body with Drew Tadia. Drew is an expert in nutrition, fitness, lifestyle, and more. And he wants to help you live a healthier, longer, and more active life. Now here's your host, Drew Tadia.
Welcome to another edition of nationally syndicated Exploring Mind and Body. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for tuning in, for being a part of our True Form Life community. We're coming at you with a brand new show. We appreciate whether you're listening on terrestrial radio across the country or as a podcast around the world. We certainly wouldn't be here without you. So stick around. We got all that coming up.
This is Exploring Mind and Body. Naturally improve your lifestyle one show at a time with your host, Drew Tadia.
Welcome to another edition of nationally syndicated Exploring Mind and Body. I'm super excited to introduce a brand new guest, Gregory Landsman. So without further ado, welcome to the show, Gregory.
Thank you, Drew, for that lovely introduction. I'm very pleased to be here. So thank you.
You're welcome. It's our pleasure. So we appreciate you taking some time to come in and jump on Exploring Mind and Body with us and share some of your expertise. I love to jump into the show. So I want to give you the floor here for the next couple minutes. Tell us who you are, what you do. We'll give you a chance to resonate with our audience for a moment.
Look, I specialize really in how to de-stress and age less. And my approach really is how do we purge the body from stress-causing elements that create free radicals and that create premature aging. And I utilize incredible natural methods to counteract premature aging, eating the right foods, breathing correctly, facial fitness, and topical treatments. Everything is science-based. It's endorsed by doctors, used by models, and taught in universities. So that's a little bit about me. But the largest part of looking after our skin is feeling good in our skin. So that's a little bit about what I do. I'm the author of 9 books: Face Value, Face Fitness, Face Food, and the latest one is Stop Stress Fast.
9 books? How do you have time for 9 books? What have you figured out? Tell me.
Writing, Drew, to me it's how could I share what I've learned? And that was one of the best ways that I could do it. Because I believe if you can give someone knowledge, you empower them with skill. And from there, they can make informed decisions about how they want to look after themselves. So that's really what had inspired me to write those books, to give people knowledge and know-how. Because looking after the skin is a lot easier than we've been led to believe. It's really simple, but you've just got to know, where do I find the most powerful anti-aging ingredients in the kitchen? How can I use them to create topical treatments? How do I breathe correctly to basically reduce the stress-causing hormone? So for me, it's just giving great information that can support a person to live a great life.
Okay, so I got to tell you real quick that I've been starting to eat aloe, like fresh aloe. I'll go and you can tell me what you think about this. So I'll go and there's an aloe plant. And I go and chop a leaf off and I cut the skin off and I eat the inside. It's horribly bitter. But then after I got to do something with the skin because I don't like to waste anything. So the skin of the aloe plant, I rub on my arms and I rub on my face and I don't know if it's doing anything, but I feel like I'm taking care of my skin. Can you clear that up? Is this a placebo or am I actually doing something for myself?
No, you're actually doing something incredible. It's very soothing, aloe vera, and very nourishing. And the Egyptians used to call the aloe vera plant the wand of heaven because it had so many incredible nourishing and healing properties. So you're doing something pretty incredible. So keep doing that. The other thing that is great on the skin, that everyone eats avocado. Everyone loves avocado. And they throw the skin out. But one of the most incredible treatments is if you take the inside of the skin, rub that all over your face, Then take the outside of the skin and gently massage. And that's a simple treatment that stimulates and exfoliates the skin with great fatty acids. Rinse it off and the skin feels fantastic. And you've truly utilized the avocado.
That is awesome. I eat avocado every day, and I usually just compost the skin. So
one of the key things to keep in mind, though, is that what we put on the outside shows up on the inside. And what we put up on the inside shows up on the outside. And, the skin loves what is pure. It responds to what is natural and good. And it's such an incredible way to feed skin, and I love food because the most powerful anti-aging properties can be found in the foods we eat. And what's more exciting is that we can use so many of those foods to create topical treatments in our own home. And this isn't even really about how, will it compromise our skin? Is it for people who don't have any money? No, it's not. DIY. It's an incredible way to really nourish and nurture the skin, really in the privacy of your own home, whenever the mood takes you. So I love it, absolutely love it. And the thing that I love is that the skin, our skin never lies. And it's going to tell us so much about our life and our lifestyle. It will reveal the food we've eaten or we haven't eaten, the lack of sleep, the lack of water, the lack of exercise. Whatever you are doing, it will reveal not only your life, but your lifestyle. So the skin will always give you the truth about what needs to be addressed. So I'm a firm believer, never wage war on a wrinkle. I listen to what that line is trying to tell me. And then I look at how can I strengthen the body's defense system and protect the body from free radicals that destroy our collagen, which is, everything. Our collagen, we want to keep our collagen healthy and strong. But after the age of 20, it reduces by 1% every year. So it's so important to keep that collagen healthy, strong, stimulated, and really safeguarded. Best way to do it is with food. And people are, couldn't I just slap on some cream? Well, no, because collagen in a cream cannot be absorbed by the skin because the molecules are too large.
That's interesting because this is a hot topic right now. A lot of people are going to collagen supplements. Tell me what form that you recommend, and maybe if it's maybe what form, and do you recommend supplements? And then there's different kinds. It's a new area of study for me, so I'd love to hear your perspective.
Look, for me, I personally never look at a supplement like one key thing to stimulate collagen, because collagen operates on, it's a basic principle that building and protecting our collagen through the foods we eat really is how we create healthy, youthful skin. And the best thing to do for collagen, I believe, is to stimulate it. Collagen is... It's the protein in connective tissue that keeps the skin elastic. It gives it its structure. But the fibers in these tissues become weak and damaged through free radicals and really the result of lifestyle stresses, environmental stress, and the stress we feel. So when I'm looking at, is there a particular food? No, there's not a particular food. But the best way to protect, preserve, stimulate, and strengthen collagen involves eating the right skin renewing foods. For example, vitamin C. That's key to collagen production and protection, but it can't be stored in the body. So it's important to top it up regularly. We can do that with sweet red peppers and broccoli, Brussels sprouts. We can eat spinach and kale, great for the skin, rich in vitamin C. That boosts collagen. But one of the other things that we want to look at is look at the antioxidants, like vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant, and that protects and reduces damage caused to skin cells. But you can get that, through spinach, almonds, sunflower oil, mangoes, vitamin B complex, great for the skin, whole wheat, eggs, turkey. And then you've got things like hyaluronic acid. I'm not sure if you've heard of hyaluronic acid. A lot of people are having that injected. Well, hyaluronic acid, the term smooth as a baby's bottom, that's really babies born and a baby's skin, it's so smooth, so plump because it's full of hyaluronic acid. But our levels decrease with age. The best way to really stimulate and get that moving, topping our levels, increasing the levels, consume more beans in our diet, including omega-3 fatty acids. That, to me, it's an internal moisturizer. It plumps up the skin, it smooths out fine lines. So it's not just one particular
nutrient
ingredient. Yes, it's a combination. It's a combination of good food equates to good skin.
I love that. Let me ask you a question. I'm not poking fun at the situation after we talked about aloe and avocado.
You're right.
But with the mango, I'm a big fan of mangoes. Do I rub the mango skin on my face too? Or no?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Yes, you can. And one of the key things to remember with something like that is that mango is really, it's this incredible fruit. And if you go into very tropical countries, that you'll actually see many of the islanders utilizing it in that way. But mango is high in vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E, and vitamin K. So that's a vitamin for the face, and it's all there. Put a bit of the pulp on, leave it on, rinse it off after 15 minutes. You've got an incredible treatment. Slap on some grapeseed olive oil afterwards, and you've got such a fantastic treatment. Grapeseed oil, it's full of oligomeric procyanidine, which strengthens the elasticity of the tissue. So that's a wonderful thing to do. It's all very simple, but really, really effective. And it's small changes deliver big results when it comes to good skin.
All right, this is fantastic, Gregory. Let me take a moment here. So I love food. I believe this is how we start our business. Food cures, food prevents, food heals. So I love this, where you're going with this. I want to take you slightly in a different direction and in a non-judgment way, at least on my end, because I'm here in LA and we know what it's like. There's a whole lot of artificial going on here. Would you like to comment on Botox and how you feel that maybe, I don't know, maybe now or even what will happen in the future, if there's any adverse effects?
Look, I have actually seen the adverse effects, and it's not pretty. It's not pretty because you're into fitness, Drew. So you know that if you don't use a muscle, you will lose that muscle. It creates atrophy. Mm-hmm. The face has over 50 muscles, and we only use not even half of them. And you want to actually paralyze that muscle with Botox, which is botulism, which is derived from the enzyme that gives us food poisoning. Put it this way. When you put a piece of meat in the freezer, you freeze it, it's a lovely firm steak. You take that out of the freezer and you leave it on the counter for a month to 2 months. It's just a floppy piece of meat. And what you've got to do is, if you want it firm again, put that back in the freezer. To me, keeping muscles healthy, that is so key, because we need to exercise them in the same way that we exercise our biceps or any muscle on the body. We can exercise our facial muscles. And the benefits of face fitness techniques, that's why I wrote, Face Fitness, to give you simple techniques really to look after the muscles that support the skin. So you pump up that muscle, you pump up the skin. A healthy muscle supports healthy skin. So the benefits of face fitness techniques are numerous. A simple massage that speeds up the lymphatic drainage system, oxygenates the blood, and carries more nutrients to the skin. And the exercises can strengthen these facial muscles. So when it comes to Botox, I'm not an advocate for it, because personally, there's nothing more beautiful than a face that moves.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, and like I said, I'm not here to judge anyone for their decisions, and I appreciate your perspective as well. And I think it's a difficult world to live in. It really is. With, it's almost like it's a negative. You're put down when you age, or you get a new wrinkle, and I think it's a challenging world. We're almost pressured into these kind of treatments when I'm not an expert. That's why I'm asking you. But long term, it doesn't seem like it's going to work out for.
No, it's not. And I have seen really beautiful beautiful models that started with Botox. And there was a very well-known girl, and I saw her in New York several years back, and I didn't recognize her. And she said to me, Gregory, one of the worst decisions I ever made in my life was to put that first unit into my forehead.
Because it seems like you can't. Sorry.
Yes, you can't stop. Once you start, you have to keep going. You have to keep putting it back into the freezer. And of course, there's, when it comes to this whole concept, Drew, of aging, there's it's not a line that ages the skin. It's a sagging muscle. And when we start losing belief in who we are and what we represent in this world, and there's enormous amounts of pressure, people telling us what we need to look like, be valued, accepted, and loved. But there's an incredible truth. Everything that I do is based on empowering people with great knowledge. But everything, if it's my books, the television, whatever it is, it's grounded in a philosophy of beauty. And this is not a philosophy that has come about, something nice that I thought about it. It is something that has taken me years really to implement in my world, to understand, so that I could make peace with who I am as a human being. So I'll run you through that a little bit. I utilize the acronym of the word beauty. And the B is for balance. That is a balance of inner virtues that radiates outwardly. It is what ultimately shapes a person's beauty and their life. And the E is for enthusiasm, to show enthusiasm for who we are and all aspects of who we are. And the A is for acceptance, accepting ourselves as a whole without isolating or fragmenting beauty to certain physical characteristics. And the U is for understanding that when we are born whole and beautiful. And along the way, we are educated to doubt what we have been given. But if we have the ability to create insecurity, we have the ability to eliminate it. And the T is for trust, learning to trust in who we are and to value what we represent in this world. And the Y is for you, that you possess beauty if you can see it in a much more expansive way other than just physical. Because beauty isn't about masculinity, it's not about femininity. This is about humanity and the divine differences we all bring to this world. Because you know what? Beauty comes in all forms, colors, shapes, sizes. And when we can accept this simple truth, we will no longer hurt ourselves or each other for the things that just make us human. Now, people often say to me, you have worked in the beauty industry for over 30 years. Yet you are speaking about inner beauty. Well, the most beautiful aspects of a human being we don't see with the eyes. We feel that with the heart. And for me to genuinely say that, Drew, I owned a very successful cosmetic business. And I just kept running. I just kept being more, having more. Until it was a very stressful business. Until one evening, it was one morning, early morning, I struggled for breath. My breath, I couldn't take that breath. And my wife rushed me to the hospital. They put me on the oxygen, got the lungs moving. It was stress. This was stress. And my wife said to me, Greg, you've got to choose between your health or your wealth. Over the months, I closed the business down, which killed. It meant everything to me. But it was a real decision that had to be made. And I left for India. And I sat in silence for 14 hours a day for weeks, with no eye contact, no hand gestures, and no talking, focusing only on my breath. And it was in the stillness that I'd never cried more, I'd never hurt more. My body ached in ways that I can't even explain. But it was there that I cried like I'd never cried before. And what I realized, that I was crying for the little boy that had been beaten and spat on and rejected for his physical differences. And his differences. And all I did was try to validate myself in the world by acquiring more and being more, so that my net worth equated to my self-worth. Those were the hard decisions. And when people said, did you find yourself in India? It was no. I learned to accept myself.
Very nice.
And everything has a place and a purpose. I looked at my childhood, the beauty industry. How could I speak to someone about insecurity if I never felt it? How could I say, you know what? We all have those moments in our life when we look in that mirror and we do not see flowers, we only see the weeds, if I've never done it. So everything, and then the beauty industry taught me about the fantasy of beauty, so far removed from the reality of what makes us beautiful human beings. But all of my insecurities, everything, it didn't happen to me. It happened for me to understand the truth of what made me a good, valuable human being. And if you said to me, what was the most challenging thing that I have had to experience in my life was to know my value as a human being. And once I understood that, so it's 30 years, that just is something that I share everywhere. Yes, my expertise, I can show you how to take 5 to 10 years off your skin. But what is the point if you don't feel good in your skin? It's like having a motor car with the most impeccable paint job, yet it has no engine.
Can't really do much with that one, can you?
So to me, it really is, how do we look as good as we can for as long as we can? Because you know what? You look at what the world is saying constitutes beauty. That could turn any mild-mannered person into a raging rodent.
Mm-hmm.
Yet, if we create our own brand of beauty, what we represent in the world, we don't care what people are telling us we need to look like to be valued. We can see what happens. We can see what happens. You know, the incredible procedures that beautiful people are undergoing in the name of beauty that I believe has nothing to do with beauty. You know, there's that fine line between, looking after yourself, and self-preservation and self-destruction. And I believe we've crossed the line on many, many levels, Drew. And we have been given everything. You know, I'm a strong advocate for things that are natural and good. You know, we speak about exercising the face, easy to do. Then you look at breathing, the breathing techniques. You know, that's why I teach it. You cannot look after your skin in isolation. Our breathing not only reduces the wrinkle-causing hormone, which I call it, it's cortisol. Our breath is so powerful that when we breathe consciously, we lower our heart rate, we decrease our blood pressure, and we put the body in a state of rest and digest. And this allows us to absorb our nutrients more effectively. It oxygenates our blood, which carries these nutrients to the skin, and it lowers our cortisol levels. So when I say our breath is powerful, we just need to know how to use it, really to support our well-being, not just our skin. You know, high levels of cortisol in our body prematurely age the skin. It attacks collagen and breaks it down. It lowers hyaluronic acid, it increases free radicals, but something as simple as utilizing our breath effectively. You know, my technique I've shown thousands of people, and they're astonished that it can not only reduce their stress levels, but it can transform the quality and texture of their skin. When we're talking looking after skin, is it expensive? No, it's not. People often have a lot of forehead lines. They call them worry lines. I always look and go, no, that's a water line, not enough water. Yeah, about 70 or 80% of our brain tissue is water. So if you're dehydrated, your body and your mind is stressed. And so, you know, if you're feeling thirsty, you're already a little bit dehydrated. And one of the most significant contributors to wrinkling, really, it's weakened collagen. And collagen, as I said before, it's that main structural protein that supports connective tissue in the body. It needs water to do its job of structuring skin. In fact, it's about 60% of collagen's total weight, water. So drinking more water will keep your collagen hydrated and wrinkles at bay. All we need is knowledge. Once we've got the knowledge, looking after our skin is so simple. You know, we can, like you mentioned, love the fact that you thought about putting aloe vera on your face and the mango. You know, vitamin A, B, and C doesn't get any better than that for a banana, a banana skin, full of antioxidants, vitamin A, B, and C. I love rubbing it over the face and leaving it on. But I also take the inside of the skin and rub it over my teeth. It whitens teeth.
This is the banana?
The banana skin, yes.
It's interesting. I heard the banana skin shines shoes too.
Oh, when we're talking about the power of Mother Nature, Drew,
it's endless.
It's endless, right? All we've got to do is like, wow, I forgot to breathe correctly. Oh, I'm not having enough water. These are the foods. When we spoke about collagen, I got a little bit sidetracked there, but I'm a firm believer in bone broth. I like to call it beauty skin broth. That's that process of cooking the bones down. Now, that forms a gelatine, which is full of amino acids. It's got glycine, proline, hydroxyproline, and our body uses these amino acids to create new collagen. You have a cup of that a day, and we'll have a chat in 7 days, you'll see a difference in your skin.
Very interesting.
And you just feel good. This improves moisture levels, skin elasticity, and firmness. So the best way to boost collagen is to eat nutrients that protect and stimulate it. And we've got it everywhere, absolutely everywhere. And then we've got, things like sleep. We all know we need to sleep. But a lot of people think, oh, well, that's a bit of an indulgence. When it comes to health and skincare, it's not an indulgence, it's a necessity. We make the most collagen while we sleep. And when we are relaxed, our levels of that stress hormone, cortisol, that decreases. But when we sleep, something magical happens. We activate the human growth hormone, which really creates thicker skin. So sleep is not an indulgence. It's a repairing necessity. And a lot of people, I can't sleep. I've got too much to do. But we need to sleep. And then, a lot of people have problems getting to sleep. If I'm feeling a little bit restless, I eat a handful of pumpkin seeds before I head off to bed. I breathe deeply. Then I eat some pumpkin seeds. It contains a solid dose of tryptophan, which is that chemical compound that, makes you feel sleepy. But it also helps relax the whole body, and it gives us a good dose of omega-3 fatty acids. Incredible for the skin.
Yeah, it sounds like there's lots of different benefits there. Gregory, I don't mean to cut you off here, but we are short on time. So if there's any last points you would like to add before we wrap things up, or anything that we missed, now would be the time.
No, absolutely not. Live well, eat well, feel well, and enjoy the process. Age brings so much wisdom, clarity, and a knowing who we are and what we represent in this world. But when it comes to premature skin aging, there's a lot you can do, and that's good food, good exercise for the face, good topical treatments, and a good diet. Learn to breathe correctly. So there's a lot that we can do when it comes to taking good care of our skin and our overall health.
That's beautiful. I absolutely love that. Thank you so much for this conversation. I really appreciate it. Before I let you go, though, I would like to give you a chance to talk to our audience about if they want to purchase books, or if you want to direct them to a website, anything. If they want more details, what would they do?
You could go to GregoryLandsman.com. There I have The Skin Secret to Looking Younger at Any Age. It's a free ebook, a download. It's a great introduction. And I've also got GregoryLandsmanTreatments.com. It's a DIY prescriptive. I've got all of the books on all of the major platforms, Amazon, Barnes & Noble. It's on all the major platforms. And I've got food apps called Face Lifting Food. It's the Face Lifting Food, a wonderful app that really gives you incredible recipes to look after your skin.
That is fantastic. Lots of resources there. So we got a couple different websites and even an app too. I'm definitely going to check that out. So thank you for mentioning those.
Look, Drew, thank you so much for having me on. And I really love your show. I think it's an incredible show. And really, it's in service. It gives good information, and it's information that we need to feel well and to look after ourselves. And you know what? You provide a wonderful service for listeners really to do that. So thank you. Thank you for having me on your show, and thank you for the great work that you do.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That's always nice to hear. It was our pleasure. Take care for now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
True Life.
All right, that's going to wrap things up for this edition of Exploring Mind and Body. Once again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for tuning in and being a part of our True Form Life community. You can always find us on Facebook.com/TrueFormLife. We post up there a couple times a day on our story. We're always trying to bring you more content around living a healthy lifestyle, whether that be nutrition, fitness, lifestyle, and more. We also have free challenges that we do at least once a month. So if you follow us along there, you'll be able to join maybe a plank challenge or a squat challenge, Tabata challenge, whatever it may be. We'd love to have you join us. We're also on Instagram.com/DrewTadia. Again, we're posting up there a couple times a day along with our story, all dedicated to keeping you fit and healthy and on track. Our main website is trueformlife.com. If you want to check out some of our products, some of our services, or if you just want some great content from videos to blog posts and recipes and more, we got all that at trueformlife.com. Once again, thank you so much for being here. That's it. That's all I got. I'm out of here. As always, I'm your host, Drew Tadia, in health and fitness for a better world. Thanks for listening.
You've been listening to Exploring Mind and Body with Trueform Life's Drew Tadia, fitness expert. To find out more about the show, Drew Tadia, or to listen to past shows, visit exploringmindandbody.com.